Hey everybody, we are here for, what is it, book 7?
Well, it's the month 7,
Month
so
7.
July is the 7th month, therefore
Yes,
the 7th
therefore,
book.
7th book. We're here to talk about the Pillars of Creation. Should be exciting. Mine is over there, but hi everyone.
I feel like I'm usually the one that doesn't have my book, so I'm very proud.
I know.
That,
I just was like, I don't feel like getting it tonight, so I did.
I got it ahead of time so that when the time came, it would just be ready to go.
I'm so impressed. Hey, Jessica. Yes. Hi, Megan. Hello, Casey. Hi, Priscilla. How's everybody doing this evening? Hey, Simone. Okay, so this was more familiar to me than I expected, but how did you do with it?
Yeah, well, I think did it come back to you when you started reading? Because I feel like when you talked about it before, you were like, I don't remember that one.
I didn't remember almost anything, and once I started, I didn't remember a lot, but like it was familiar. The character was familiar, and certain of the plot beats felt familiar. Once I started reading, yeah.
I forgot that like Richard and Kaylin are basically literally not in it. I remembered it being like, it being like 60 or 70% Jensen. I didn't remember that it was like literally
it's like
Richard and Kaylin basically not in it.
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't remember that either. That was surprising. Thankfully I did like Jensen pretty well.
Yeah,
so
I like Jensen.
Yeah,
definitely better than the new offshoot don't care characters in Soul of the Fire.
Seriously, they were awful. How did everybody in the comments watching let us know your thoughts on this one? It's not a favorite for me, but I had like a reasonably good time with it. What did I rate
I think
it?
I like this better than you do.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You liked Faith of the Fallen better than I did.
That's true. I did. Yep.
Yeah, it's literally Jensen's book.
It is. True.
I honestly I gave it 4 stars, and I would have given it a higher rating if there was less of Oba.
Ugh, he was not my favorite.
It's not even like, I mean, I did dislike him. Obviously, you're meant to dislike him, but it's not even that. It's just that like all the chapters with him, like some of that, sure, but like all of that is like honestly not necessary for the plot. It's just like we get it, get it. Like it's not necessary.
Yeah. Okay, I gave it 3 stars, which is like I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I felt like it did drag a bit. I like the pacing was
the Oba parts in particular. All the Jensen parts, I was like,
I liked her stuff pretty well. Yeah, mostly. Jessica loves this one. It's a favorite. Great. Not his best work. I mean, I don't think it's his best work either, but I still liked it it's pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed this more. I mean, I liked it the first time that I read it. I didn't dislike it at all. I liked it.
Yeah.
But now on reread, I like it better than Faith of the Fallen.
I don't.
I know. Our ratings are the reverse. So I think I gave 3 stars to Faith of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Because like as preachy as this, I mean, all his books, especially like from this point out, are preachy. But this one is, I feel like, less aggressive, and it's a more generalized kind of like, when he talks about stuff, it's more at a personal level and not at the government revolution level, which is when we were like, we're not talking about systems of power. We're just talking about like, how to deal with personal responsibility for things and personal integrity and things like that. And that's where like his version of right and wrong, I buy into more than on a grand scale what he envisions to be the way to run things. On the individual level, I'm like, I think I'm more or less with you. I would quibble and disagree about things, but like generally speaking.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I mean, I don't have a lot of problem with it.
What's
the dedication? Did you read it? Read it. You have your
No.
copy. Read the dedication so everyone can hear. It's very interesting.
Well, that's not the dedication. Oh no, I've already saw some keywords. Dedicated to the people in the United States intelligence community who for decades have valiantly fought to preserve life and liberty while being ridiculed, condemned, demonized, and shackled by the jackals of evil.
Yes. that is a dedication there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because as like having read the book, like I guess I see the connection between those two things, but I having with that dedication, I would expect this book to not be exactly the way that the book isn't really about that.
It's no, not really. So it's an interesting one. Yes.
Bit of a non sequitur.
Yeah. Yeah, the dedication is very interesting.
Like reading the dedication, I would be expecting a book more like Faith of the Fallen.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
This book is pretty chill.
It is. It's interesting.
And I did find like because obviously, you know, Richard and Caitlin are basically not in it, and when they are in it, they're like they are the like characters on the outside that you're like seeing like what an outsider would think. And I think that's I know you haven't read them yet. At least I don't think you have. But one of my favorite things about reading Iron Gold and Dark Age, the later Red Rising books, because the original trilogy is all from Darrow's perspective.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite things in the new books was simply because we have more perspectives, then you for the first time see Darrow through someone else's eyes. And I mean, we have seen Richard through other people's eyes because we get Caitlin's perspective, we get Zed's perspective, etc. But like still a outsider. Like those are people that are like, if they're not Richard's perspective, they are still like within his circle.
Yeah.
And then we occasionally get like perspectives that are more like Oba's, you know, or like Dreffen's, you know, where they're like the villain. But having Jensen, who is not a villain and not in the inner circle, and seeing her, what she hears about, like what you, when you're not in the tight circle, what you hear about the Lord Rawl and like how people talk about him, good and bad, and then how she pieces together her understanding of what Richard's like, and kind of seeing the little people, how they're affected and how they view what's going on, and how you could come to some pretty horrible conclusions. Because we've said all along that Richard is like, I mean, he's pretty tyrannical, like his like all or nothing attitude. Like you can see where, like, even when you know him, you're like, that's a pretty intense attitude to have. And so for Jensen, who doesn't know him, like, it doesn't take a leap to be like, he's just like his father. Oh no, he's worse. Uh-oh, you know?
Yeah.
So
well,
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like seeing her go through everything she goes through. Part of it is like, no, like they're not, if they just knew who you were, everything, you know, but I mean, that's part of the story. So it is interesting, like her interactions with the Mordsith and ideas about Richard and everything.
Nathan.
Yeah, fleeing from Nathan. Yeah, it definitely puts a different kind of spin.
And the way she keeps meeting people that she likes, and then they all say that like, oh, they love their Lord Rawl, and she's just like,
okay.
You seem like a nice person, but
yeah.
Whereas, you know, all these awful people that support Jagang, and she's like, but he's had the right cause though, so I guess you need the bad guys with you. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the fact that like she ends up, you know, sleeping with, having an affair with the his strategist.
And I thought that was handled for Terry Goodkind in particular surprisingly well. The way that like Sebastian was a pretty gray character, you know, like he wasn't a mustache twirling villain. He seemed extremely misguided.
Yeah. Well, and he felt bad at the end. He's like, I didn't know you when I had your mom killed.
It doesn't make it better.
No. Yeah. But I think that was interesting because you know, like that easily does create conflict when you have somebody who thinks they're in love with someone who is not good for them.
And the thing is, like, when it's not, I mean, yes, he did lie about, you know, like in the beginning, he did set that up, you know, making her mother die and whatever. But like most of what he's been telling her hasn't been like all a lie. Like he believes this is right for those reasons. That's why he was like wanting to convince her of the rightness of this. Like it's not all lies. Like he lied about how they met and how to get, you know, why he was there in the first place to get her. But like, it's not. Like what they had between them was like they did have a friendship, and she did regard him well for not untrue reasons. Yeah. Yeah. I just love like toward not the beginning, but like the first time she's comparing Tom and Sebastian in her mind, and she's like, Tom makes me feel strong and confident. Sebastian makes me feel weak and scared. And you're like, well, there you go.
I was like, I wonder who the right choice is. Although, you know what? I do, even though, maybe it's a little bit heavy-handed, but I do like that his idea of what a healthy relationship would be somebody who,
Oh yeah.
is making a woman feel strong and confident. So
Yeah.
that's good.
And I also appreciate that like when it's written that way, like it is so often said that like feelings of love can make you feel kind of like nervous and weak, and that like it's not
Mhm.
crazy for Jensen to be like, he makes me feel anxious and nervous,
Yeah.
but that like that doesn't cancel out you thinking that you're in love with them,
Yeah.
but it's just like having that observation in there where you the outsider are like, well,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I think that's true. Well, especially because, like, early on in a relationship, I think it's normal to have some of those feelings. Um,
And there's also the fact that like she's,
she's
learning that
young.
Sebastian is an important person, and that she
Mhm.
feels so beholden to him, and that he's like a big deal to the order, and
Yeah.
yeah, that she would feel
Yeah.
nervous.
It would be a great YA book if we took out Oba.
It'd be a great adult book if we took out
I
Oba.
mean, honestly,
We
like,
don't even have to take him out. It's just like what he's
it's
doing for the story, it does not justify the page count that he gets.
no.
Like, yeah.
It's like you need the shot. He wants the shock value, I guess, of having another creepy serial killer. I don't know.
Why it's like Dreffin but dumb.
Yes.
He's just like
Yeah.
the oaf version of Dreffin.
Yeah. She does a
But I
lot of
liked
I
too
mean, he
how
does so many dumb things, like forgetting the potion was in his pocket after he's, like, killed what's her name. I mean, there were so many things where I was like, "Wow, okay."
but I did like how, because again, it's the whole like what do people say about Richard, outside of, and her hearing all of it. And I liked how
Mhm.
when we found out when she went to the Ragmas, and now like, oh, that he killed Dreffin. And it's just like, oh my God, like I was right. He is killing us. He killed our brother.
Yeah.
And like that, of course, that information would seem in that context to be,
Mhm.
you're like, no, but he was a
Yeah.
murderer.
Yeah. Past the point. Okay. In this book or in the series?
I feel like didn't you stop at like book 2 or 3? Like,
I mean, I guess one question I have, right, and maybe this is part of what brought my rating down on this a little bit, is I'm like, what is the purpose of this book? I mean, really, the only purpose of it in the overall plot is just to, like, say something about Richard having other siblings, I guess? Like, I don't know that it
well, it introduces the holes in the world and the way that they
Yeah.
are a balance to the raw magic, and about how there's no magic without consequence. That like by having such an OP bonded like dictator wizard as a raw
Mhm.
necessitates the entire family line being not just not magical, but being like anti-magic.
Anti-magic, right. Yeah. Which I guess is fair because we have had this thing of, like, setup book, plot book, setup book, but this is a better version of a setup book than some of the other ones, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
And again, I think it is doing I mean, I did not just because like, oh, that was fun, but like I do think
mhm.
it's good to see how people are responding to Richard that are not in his inner circle, like how the everyman is talking about what's going on and being affected by it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, did I need a whole long book of it? No.
Hey, if there was less Oba, I think you'd be down.
Maybe. I do like Jensen. Um, But I also feel like if you're reading this and you don't like Jensen, you're not going to have a good time with this book. And I think I see that in some of the reviews, the people who don't like Jensen as a character. Yeah, I can
Well, they're
understand why.
wrong. Jensen's great.
I like her. I think she's interesting.
It's also like, I mean, it's obviously like her perspective and stuff happening to her, but the stuff going on around her and the information that you receive through her receiving it is interesting,
Mhm.
like world information.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It probably is.
it's something that Kara tried to touch, and they're like that like she caused a problem by touching the thing, and they need Jensen to go touch it now because
Uh,
magic.
magic. Yeah. I don't. remember if I ever finished reading Faith of the Fallen. Maybe I did. I don't.
You
I
mean
de-
Naked Empire?
I mean, Naked Empire. I don't know if I read, like, I maybe read it. Definitely never read
I definitely
past
read it.
it. Okay. I may have, but I'm
I
not.
didn't read past it, but I definitely read Naked Empire.
Yeah. Well, I know that when it came out, like, nothing else was out yet when I got to that book. So I don't, but, and I can't remember if I finished it or not, but yeah, I might have. It might come back to me when we read it next month. Um, yeah. Yes, Jensen is a new character from this book. She's Richard's half sister.
Yeah. And I mean, again, seeing Richard from new eyes and seeing Richard's reputation with new eyes. But also, I really enjoyed being on the like receiving end of their magical tricks, because usually you're there
Mhm.
with them plotting and planning their schemes and the way to trick the enemy. But I think it was really fun to be like, to see it without knowing and be like, well, they're up to something. I hope they're up to something because otherwise we're screwed. But
Yeah.
like, you're on the team that's getting defeated, but
Yeah.
you personally are not on that team. So you're like riding along with
Yeah.
like Jensen is with the bad
Yeah.
team. And you're like, what do they have up their sleeve? What are they going to do? Like they're going to attack somehow. There must be a trick. So like, I
Hmm.
think it's really fun to like experience it as
Yeah.
the receiver of it.
I agree. That I thought was fun. I did like especially the whole series of scenes where they're inside the like
Yeah.
whatever complex and
We briefly get to see Zed and Addie.
yes, very briefly. But it was kind of fun from Jensen's perspective, right? Because she's the only one who can't see the illusions because magic doesn't work
Mhm.
on her. And I thought that made
I
for
like
some
her
fun stuff.
realization when she's like, I'm invincible. And then she's like, actually, no, because if you drop a brick on me with magic, the brick is not magic and it will hurt me. So she's like, I am not that invincible. We
Mm,
should go.
yeah.
She had a
Yeah.
lot of relatable moments in
Yeah.
general in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah. I think it was good. Yes, it was nice to see Jigang fail so badly. Uh, yes. Yeah. I liked that part. What complaints do people have? I don't know. I kind of skimmed through some reviews, but there were people who just thought she was boring and didn't care about her or know why she mattered. I don't know. But I liked her too.
I mean, they probably hate her just by default because, like, well, this isn't the main cast. Why am I
Right.
seeing her?
Like, why are you
So
making
it's
me
not
read
that
about
there's
someone I
anything.
don't know?
Yeah, there's not anything that
Yeah.
necessarily specifically wrong with Jensen. What's wrong with Jensen is that she's not Richard, Kaylin, Zed, Addie, or.
Yeah. Well, and it's the first time we've had an entire book like this. Because I kept expecting them to come in at some point, and then I was like, oh,
I
nope.
remembered they weren't in it very much, but I thought
Mhm.
they were in it a bit. But no.
Yeah. No, not at all. I mean, I kind of agree with you, Priscilla. I felt like it dragged at times as well in between stuff.
Mostly
I
Oba,
just
though.
yeah, mostly Opa, but it was
Because
a
his
little
was also
long.
the most like repetitive, where like his thoughts are like, even on the same page, he'd have the same thought twice. And I'd be like, is this necessary?
Yeah. I think this is fair. I can totally see, especially when they were first coming out, being angry because where are the characters that I am reading this series for? Like, what are you
See,
doing?
like, as I've often said, like, I prefer the books where Richard and Kaylin are apart because I find it like fatiguing them being together. And for similar reasons, I feel like when we've been with these characters so constantly for so many books for so many pages, like it's good to have something fresh for a second to
Hmm.
like change it up. So like I remember being surprised that this was clearly about Jensen and like just Jensen, or if not just Jensen, I mean it's decidedly not about Richard and Kaylin. It's about Oba. It's
Right,
about Jensen. It's about Althea and Friedrich. Like it's
right.
not the main characters. But I found it. I was like, this is like adding some fresh blood.
Mhm.
Making because we've heard so many stories about Richard and Kaylin. You're like, how much is there left to say about them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. But I do think that, like, for people who are going to the books for a specific thing and not getting it, I can see the frustration. Yeah, Tom was so
Betty.
nice.
And Betty was
Betty.
scratch.
Yes.
He writes animal companions so well.
Yeah, it's true. Oh my gosh.
All of the like enthusiastic bleeding.
Yes. Oh yeah, yes. I liked Althea and Friedrich as well. Like they had such a sweet relationship. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I had a good time
Mhm.
the first time, and I had a good time this time. It's just, the Oba parts.
Yeah.
Although, okay, you know what Oba this time around reminded me of, which he couldn't really possibly have reminded me of the first time, is I feel like Oba would look really good in a red ball cap. Same kind of
Yeah.
same logic.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Uh-huh.
About what
Yeah.
he's entitled to and the constant hypocrisy and the not understanding the situation at all and being taken advantage of, frankly, because he was taken advantage of, because he got, told what he wanted to hear by the
Yeah.
keeper of the underworld.
Make Dahara great again.
Yup.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Um, yeah, I can see that. They have a lot more similarities than some of the other half of the siblings. They're like the semi-normal ones. It's like the not super twisted ones.
Seems like all the dudes are twisted.
Hmm.
She was only not twisted because she's a woman. Told you can't have another alpha male around. Only Richard.
Well,
I'm still sad that Dreffin was evil. I'm not letting that go.
hey, Amanda. Jensen, that's
Woods
true.
person.
Jensen is a woods. Yes, good point.
I mean, she's not really specifically a woods person. She's just like a roughing it on the run
Right.
person.
Well, but she kind of grew up like in a rural area, learning plants and like, I mean, they have kind of,
I mean, she's like a survivalist.
Right.
Not like it's not like an intimate understanding and love for the woods specifically like it is for Richard. She's just like roughed it a lot and like learned what she needs to learn to survive in all forms of like nature and
Right. Also, I love how there's like a flower that gives you a fever. Conveniently.
Yeah, and that's shaped like a grace. We've never heard about graces being drawn before in this series, but we do now. Everyone's doing it. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows about this.
Yep.
Apparently they always did, but we just didn't hear about it.
Wasn't important about it. It's okay. It's fine.
I feel like by this point, the first time I was reading it, and I feel that way now, I was like, can we get a new villain? I'm really getting tired of Jagang and the New Order.
Same.
Can we defeat him and get a new baddie?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like Dark and Rawl, we had him for like 2 books. And then you're like, okay, then you move on to the next one. And I'm like, it has been 5 books of Jagang.
Yes.
Can we get someone else, please?
Yeah. Because I mean, I think he's a really good villain at the beginning, but I'm over it.
Well, Jagang, I feel similar to like Richard and Kaylin, and you're like, what else is there left to say or do unless you throw another wrench in, i.e. a different character, like Jensen, thankfully, did spice things up. But so it was like interesting to see Jagang through Jensen's eyes the same as it was interesting to see Richard through Jensen's eyes. So like at least that was fresh, but also I'm like, all right, but now literally we have reached the bottom of the barrel.
Like we need to just defeat.
Like I wish Jensen had just killed Jagang in this.
Honestly, yeah, that would have been, but no.
Or convince Sebastian to do it.
I mean, did they kill him in the next book? They should. I'm guessing because it's like
from what I remember of Naked Empire, it's sort of like an off-roading side quest book.
No, why? It's like that's the last book in the main series. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Great.
I don't remember specifically, but from what I remember, he is not really involved in it, like directly.
What was the thinking? 4 stars, nice. I don't know what the thinking was, because then there's the 3 books are a trilogy, so I guess we'll see. I have never read them, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I read through Naked Empire and then stopped. So I'm quite excited to read something new for the first time.
Yeah. Although, I have heard that the series kind of just goes downhill more or less, so we'll see how it goes.
I have heard though that I think Chain Fire is supposed to be pretty good.
Okay.
We'll see.
We will see.
And there's always the Nikki Chronicles.
Yes. I do like Nikki. She's interesting. Other things. I don't know. I guess this is the thing about this book is for how long it is, I just don't feel like there's that much of substance to talk about.
Well, I think it was a very much a book of introducing new ideas for this world. So we got
Yeah.
the grace and the grace fever, whatever flowers that are shaped like a
Yeah.
grace. We get the idea of the holes in the world, which are like a balance to the existence of Rawls, and how they are arguably like the seeds for a magicless world in the future, that they are
Yeah.
the beginning of the end. And that also in balance, that like we get the idea that, because we've constantly seen Richard in opposition to prophecy, and now it's like codified that like not only is he personally opposed to prophecy, he represents the balance to prophecy, because he is like free will personified, and that like it's a
Yeah.
necessary balance to prophecy.
And
So-
prophecy can't see the holes in the world either, which is interesting and maybe convenient at times, but yeah.
It's an interesting new thing to play with in the story.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, there's interesting things. It's just, again, I mean, I think Priscilla, I just feel like it's too long. Sorry.
I swear, if it just didn't have Oba in it, it would be just fine. And not, I mean, he doesn't, Oba can be in it, but you know, like
Yeah.
most of his chapters, like, did not give me vital information.
Well, and then you had him doing the same thing as Jensen had done, which is also just kind of boring. Like,
You know what it reminded me of? Like the structure of that, which maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why I like this book better than you. It was quite nostalgic to read, because that is a formula in a lot of Eastern European folk tales, where it's a Cinderella type story, right? But where like the Cinderella type character has gone and done a nice thing or been tested in some way and has received a reward for it, and then you know the evil stepsister or whatever, that character then is like, well, I want the reward too. So then they go through the same things, but they do it badly, or they do it cruelly, or they do it insufficiently, and then they also receive a reward, which is like actually a punishment, or actually so like Oba following Jensen's footsteps and being like tested along the way by all of the same like circumstances. It felt like that, like a fairy tale.
Yeah, no, I can see that. That's really interesting. I mean, it makes sense that, whereas I was kind of like, yes, okay, we've been here before. Serpent, good, yeah.
Yeah, like specifically the serpent was the part that like first made me think of that connection, because like it's that same idea of, you know, like you know, in a fairy tale, you'll have like, you know, wood sprites and trees talking to you and things like that. And it'll be like, you know, Mother Apple Tree, your branches look so heavy. Let me help you by taking the apples down to unburden you. And like, oh, thank you, dear. And for that, you get to have apples or whatever. And then like, tra-la-la. And then comes the evil one who's like, you know, oh, my branches are so heavy. Won't you help me? It's like, they're not my branches. It's not my problem. Like, I don't care about you, apple tree. And so they get pummeled with apples or something.
Yeah. No, I can totally see it. Yeah, it is cool. That's interesting. We did get to see Nathan.
I'm always excited when Nathan pops up. Like, ooh, it's Nathan.
Yes. I like Nathan. Oba is a dumb psychopath.
Dumb psycho.
Yeah. Like, he does dumb things, and he's also has no empathy and is a serial killer / rapist. So that's great.
That sums it up. But he's got, you know, he's a very narcissistic. He's got like a grandiose.
Yeah, he's like a narcissist for sure. Grandiose ideas about himself and what he deserves. Yeah. Richard being told he isn't armed, he says, "Oh, but I am." Sat an ancient tome to read to everyone. Yeah. That's funny. Yes, Betty.
Poor Betty.
Betty the goat.
I remembered the first time I read it, I was worried about Betty, but this time I was like, I don't remember how or why, but I remember Betty is fine. So like her being worried about her, I was like, she is fine.
Yes. Sure enough, she showed up at the end.
How dare you, Urza? Oba's not an interesting character. He's not.
No.
It's very straightforward. It's just gross.
Yeah, basically. Oh, you know what was interesting that I didn't know is when I was making the thumbnail for this, I Googled Pillars of Creation. The cover is very similar to the Pillars of Creation, which are like structures in space. They are shaped very similarly, and it
In
makes me.
space, where?
I don't know. Let me see it. Let me find it.
Because space is vast.
Of creation. Okay, I'm gonna look it up now. Hold on.
Urza Oba is nothing like Glokta.
Okay, so I'll show everybody. Here we go. Pillars of Creation. Come on, internet.
In the meantime, to refresh everybody. Oh, jeez. This is what she's talking about in the book cover.
Okay, so M16, the Eagle Nebula. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Hold on, and then we can compare because I just thought it was really interesting. Which made me wonder if this was like the inspiration for
With
it
the
or
name being the
something.
same, I would imagine.
I
so.
mean, you would think, yeah. Share screen. Okay. So, I mean,
So
it
how'd you
looks.
stumble on this?
I was searching Google Images for the cover of the book to make the
Oh,
thumbnail,
that's right.
and this popped up, and I was like, "That's interesting." So yeah, it's a nebula.
It's a hole in the world.
I guess so. Anyway, I'm not sure. Like, yeah. So I guess maybe since he likes to do sort of
He's not writing fantasy. Let's not forget.
it's philosophy. It's like, you know. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. So I guess maybe NASA came out with that and it was like, oh, what
You know
does
what I
this
did?
say? I don't know.
I don't know if refreshing is the right word, or the one that I want to use for this, but for lack of a better one, I found it kind of refreshing reading Oba's perspectives, his chapters, because we've seen Terry Goodkind write kind of sadistic, sexually violent killer types, Dreffin, but not just Dreffin. In the Blood of the Fold guy was a bit that way.
He's
And it
had
was
several.
but it was kind of like, on part of me reading Oba, I was like, here we go again. But also I was like, but he's like funny because he's so dumb and he thinks such inane things. And you're like for that, like, it was kind of refreshing to read Oba where you're like, oh, you're not like a sinister dark. I mean, it is pretty sinister what he's doing, obviously, like, not to make light of that, but like being in his head is just like, oh my God, you're like fucking idiot. You're so dumb. So it was like kind of amusing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I was also sort of like
Sometimes when he would think to himself, like, Urza, you're still wrong. Like, I don't like Oba's character, but like, there are sometimes Abercrombie characters, that will be thinking to themselves. Like, I'm thinking specifically of Morveer in Best Served Cold. The way Morveer thinks to himself about how he's so undervalued and so underappreciated, and how he, no one listens to him, and he's of course the wisest and the smartest and the most careful. And like the way that Morveer thinks to himself about himself, like Oba like has kind of that going on. Where like these like being in your deluded mind is like, it's not my favorite, and I could do with much, 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 much less of it. And it's not done nearly as well as Abercrombie does it. But it's like kind of that, which I'm like, that's like at least kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like what does a peek behind the curtain? Like you see that kind of behavior. You could see an Oba doing what he's doing. But like, what is it? What's going on in there? Oh my gosh. Just kidding. Forget I asked. I don't want to know what's going on in there.
Yeah, it was not pleasant. Yes. Yeah, I think we all liked Althea and Tom. Tom was
And
just really
Friedrich.
nice. And Friedrich. Yeah.
Also, his last name is Gilder. So what does he do? He's a Gilder.
Of course. Of course. Yes.
Yeah, Glock is cursed by self-awareness.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and yeah, that too. Yeah. I wouldn't really compare them.
Yeah, Oba. If Oba's like any first law character, it's Morvier.
Let's see. Oh, yes, blowing away 1,000 soldiers with magic. Right, like basically. I mean, it's
MBG.
base. Yeah, I mean, it's basically like the magical version of landmines.
Okay, but like this is where I've said before that like the escapism and the bigness and the like magical transportiveness of these books, like it's those moments where like as corny as it is, like you're riding along with Jensen and it's cool to see what she thinks of all this stuff because she doesn't
Mhm,
know, but you do know. So like when she is encountering Richard, like you're like, do something epic. Do something
mhm,
to impress her. Do something
yeah.
to show off. Do it. Show off. Show off. And then he does. And you're like, yeah, that's Richard is in like strutting with his cape flying in the wind with his raptor's gaze. And you're just like, yes, my boy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't like I don't know. It's funny. I don't mind. But also it is true that like the numbers of the armies are just absurd. Like,
That's why, I mean, Jigang should have won already, but also
yeah.
since he hasn't, can he be dead already?
Yes.
Because he's
Yes,
so
yes.
dumb that he hasn't won yet with an army that like the only actual problem with having an army that size would be supply trains. And like they haven't really made that a thing that is a problem for him in the stories. And
No.
I'm like, that would be if he had a problem, that would be it, is
Hmm.
supplies. But nope. Every time, every battle's like, well, I don't want to throw all my men at it because why?
Yeah.
Because why? Literally just storm the place. You have millions of soldiers. Like literally no reason to hold back, sir.
Yeah. I don't think this was something he just did. It was they found some kind of a untripped trigger from long ago. So I don't know that this would fix it. Although, I mean, it might fix it in some way, but I don't know.
Or I think she's talking about when Richard shows up and is like blowing them away as he's heading
Oh,
into the Pillars of Creation. It's the, his
okay.
magic, he's explained it many times. His magic responds to need, and he shouldn't know how his magic works. In fact, that would harm his
That
ability
would,
to use his magic. So
yes.
it just has to be unexplained and unexplainable because it responds to his need, and he had a need for speed.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, but it's
It's
like endless.
ginormous.
It's huge. Thousands die, and he's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Replacements are gonna be here soon." I mean,
I mean, it's
that's
literally like millions and
yeah,
millions.
it's absurd. Yeah,
It's stupid.
yeah. It doesn't make sense that he hasn't won yet, but
Well,
since
it does because he's stupid apparently
he's, I
himself.
mean,
Because at every turn he could just eviscerate them with sheer numbers, and he chooses not to. And you're like, all right, my dude, I don't
yeah.
know if you should be in
Do
charge.
you think we're supposed to be drawing parallels between Oba and Jigang?
Hmm, no, I don't think so. Because like Jagang is not as dumb as Oba.
No, but
Jagang is more of a Thanos type of character.
yeah.
Thanos who has like kinky fuckery in mind.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I kind of liked that scene too, actually. It was sad, but like, I like that it worked because Oba was dumb enough to just like drink whatever she gave
It was so dumb. Oh my god, he's so dumb.
him. Oh gosh. Yeah.
And I loved when, well, I don't want to use words like, I liked it. It was refreshing. I loved it. But like when he thought to himself that like, it would be that, like, even though she's already dead, you'd be like, oh, so selfish to just die without giving me my answers. Just like her to be a meddling sorceress and purposely die to keep the answers from me. And you're just like, oh my God. Like, it's not funny because we're talking about a dead woman, but like, you are something else.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because like the way, like the tone of it, at least in my, have you ever watched Over the
See,
Garden
Priscilla,
Wall?
this is what I was this is what I was thinking. Oba could be like an extreme of Jagang's narcissism and self-righteousness. I mean,
I just think narcissism and self-righteousness are things that they share, but I don't necessarily think that Oba is like a mirror to parallel or like comment on Jagang. Honestly, most of Terry Goodkind's villains have those character traits because that's how he writes villains.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
But have you ever seen Over the Garden Wall?
No. You've asked me this before, I think.
Well, you've had a year. Because like the little brother, like he frequently says in it, ain't that just the way? And that's how I imagined Oba every time he's like, sorceress kills herself just to make my life difficult. Ain't that just the way?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know.
What is that face?
I'm just like, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about? I don't know. Somebody loved Over the Garden Wall.
Everyone loves Over the Garden Wall. I don't understand how you haven't seen it.
I had never heard of it before you said something about it.
And then you didn't immediately go and watch it. You're fired.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, Priscilla. Because Jensen is similar to Richard in some ways. So yeah, it's kind of, I can see what you're saying. Over the Garden
Wall? No.
I have no idea what it is, honestly. I just know you've mentioned it at some point. I don't know what it is.
Go watch it and then you'll know.
I don't have time to watch.
Priscilla agrees with me.
Great.
Don your vegetables. It's from Over the Garden Wall.
Don your vegetables.
Don your vegetables. There's a harvest festival. Don your vegetables.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't that just the way?
Oh, it's a mini series?
Yeah, I liked that we got to see more of the surroundings of people's. That's what I liked about this book. That we got to see the lay people. We got to see the other parts where like they aren't like the centers of power. It's just like exploring the world. It kind of felt like, you know, in video games when like if you've like beaten the video game already and then you just like want to go back and just kind of like explore the video game world because you're not really worried about beating it because you've already done that. It was like a little bit like that. We were like, okay, like let's kind of like, let's see some more of Dahara. Let's see some more of like, you know, what this world is like.
You say that, but there's 10 episodes. How long?
Yeah, but some of the episodes are like 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
The longest episode.
The only thing is, it's on Hulu, and I do not have Hulu, so we'll see. I'll have to.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, if there's a will.
I almost said, "Ain't that just the way?" But I didn't.
I'm like, I don't have time to watch things. What?
It's an amazing fall watch. It's very perfect fall/spooky season vibes.
Okay. Cool.
But you know, we have not cast Jensen.
Oh, you know who I would cast? The girl, wait, what's her name? I'm really bad at names. I know who she is, though. Hold on. I'll find it. You'll probably know her name.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure you will.
And, you know, while we're on the subject, who would you cast as Tom and Sebastian?
Oh, I don't know. The only one that I know for sure that I immediately, Sadie Sink.
Oh, I do not know who that is.
You do.
What is
She
she
played
in?
she's Max in Stranger Things.
Oh, she's but like a little bit older, like in a few years you could
I
cast
mean,
her.
she's already a little older. Have you seen her
Mm.
recently? Like like if you see her like dressing like not
Well,
as a
how old is
child,
the actress?
she's I don't know. Hold on.
Because like this role would have quite a
She's
lot of
20.
intimate. Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it.
She just dresses really young. Like if you see her in her normal clothes, like um
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I'll allow it. Because the role would require some R-rated scenes.
yeah, yeah. No, I think she could do it. I
You
think
can't
they
like
make her look
cast a
I think they make her look younger
yeah.
for the show.
Well, they
So,
have to do that with all the kids because like they've taken so long to film the thing, so they've all grown up.
yeah.
Whoops. But the you can't cast this because this is not a person, but because of all the mentions of his hair, I do you know the I think it's not Disney, it's like DreamWorks. Um and I think it's called like Rise of the Guardians, but it's like Jack Frost is like one of the main characters in
I
it.
haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking
That's
about.
kind of how I picture Sebastian. The spiky white hair.
Oh yeah. I could see that. Oh, that's funny. Hmm.
Bright blue
Yeah,
eyes.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anybody that immediately comes to mind for the other characters, but her. Listen, I don't always have somebody in mind for something. This I was like, "Oh, I know." Right away. I'm proud.
Yeah, more it says in this book too. I know anyone who I'd cast for Tom would be someone that would be like a runner up for Richard.
Yeah. But like
Like a
more
younger, less dominant Richard. You know what? Since I've already declared that the greater Hemsworth should play Richard, then the lesser Hemsworth can play Tom.
that could work.
You can see Liam playing Tom.
Yeah. Yep, there's some word stuff. Yeah, I could see Liam Hemsworth playing Tom. I think that would work.
And then
Um,
insert DreamWorks animation character Sebastian. And there you go.
I don't know about
And Althea and I mean, you have to worry about casting her sister. She's in it for like 2 seconds, but
yeah, I don't
if you
know. I don't
wish.
know about Althea. Oba.
Oh yeah. Who do you hate? He's a really big guy. They keep stressing that he's a very big guy.
Yeah, and it would have to be somebody who could play that. I don't know. I don't know. I
Now
don't
you
know.
always want to think of
I feel like
characters that
yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be the same kind of person who could play like a high school bully, you know,
mhm. Whoever
in
would
like a
play the guy
teen
picking
movie.
on Peter Parker.
Oh yeah. Doesn't he have a bully in I think he actually
Always
does.
has a bully.
Yeah.
To be Peter Parker is to be bullied.
Mhm. Yep. Let's see.
We didn't hate it.
Uh, hmm.
Are you looking for someone specifically?
I'm trying to figure out who was the bully in the Spider-Man movies, but I can't find it. It's fine.
Oh, which Spider-Man movies? There's 3 different ones.
Well, the recent ones, because they would be young enough. I
Oh,
don't know.
he's not like he couldn't play Oba because he like ends up kind of being friends with them.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. You do. It's true, Jessica. I'm not sure that I
I
know
mean,
the
you
right
need like
person.
a Dud. Who played the guy who plays Dudley is older now. He can play Oba.
Yeah, but Oba's not that old. He's like 18 or something. So he's still
Also,
young.
Oba has to look like a Rawl.
Yeah.
So he's got to look like the dumb, ugly version of Richard. Oh, yeah, there's a third Hemsworth that literally no one cares about. He can play Oba.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Got it.
We didn't hate it. We didn't hate it. I mean, I like it mostly liked it. I mean, I gave it 3 stars. Lana gave it
I gave
4. I
it
think she
4.
liked it better than I did. But yeah. Um, but hi, hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I don't know. No, I think my main contribution here is an actress for Jensen. So
Does Hodor have a son?
just Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, I could see that 100%. Yes, I co-signed this. You have my seal of approval. You'd be great. Are you Googling Bill Skarsgård?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah. Because I am not good at remembering who people are. Have I actually seen him in anything? I don't know.
No. We have the Hemsworth clan and we have the Skarsgård clan.
Mhm.
All very
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything he's been in. So
well, he'd be
can't speak to
great.
it. 3.5 rounded up. Okay. Nice. Hemsworth 3 is on Westworld. I thought there's like so many Hemsworths.
There's only 3, I think. The greater, the lesser, and the non.
And the non. Luke
Hole in the
Hemsworth.
world.
Okay. The hole in the world. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Okay. But he's older than the other ones.
No one cares.
Well, it's a problem if you're casting him for an 18-year-old.
Nah. You just de-age him a bit. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is already too old to play Richard.
Yeah. Really? Oh, that's hilarious.
Matt Damon's in it too, as a
Oh,
stage
wow.
actor playing Loki.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm wearing my new Skarsgård doors, or new
nice.
Asgard. I say
Asgard tours.
Skarsgård,
Yeah.
Asgard doors.
I love it.
The
I
back is the best part.
What does it say? Something Asgard?
New Asgard.
New Asgard. Okay. Nice. I still need to see Love and Thunder, so
It's not as good as Ragnarok, but it's good.
I want to see it, but I'm just like behind. This is why I'm like, how do I have time to watch anything? I'm so behind on so many things.
Over the Garden Wall is really short.
Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm trying to get through Hawkeye.
You know, you could do like a patron movie night and watch Over the Garden Wall for a fall season.
That's true. We'll see. Maybe if they want to do it.
Everyone loves it. We can't all be lying to you.
I don't think you're lying. I just,
Why are you depriving yourself of joy? Yeah, Gustav Skarsgård was on Vikings.
Oh wait, there's like multiple Skarsgårds too. Wow,
there's Alexander. You know who Alexander Skarsgård is? Maybe,
I don't know.
He was in True Blood. He played Eric Northman, and he's in the new movie The Northman, which is like the big Viking movie that came out this year. I don't think he directed it, but he played Tarzan.
Okay. He looks semi-familiar. I didn't see. Oh, he was in Big Little Lies. I think I might have. I saw that.
Yeah, there's a whole. And I mean, Stellan Skarsgård is their father, and he's an actor.
Oh, like he was in Zoolander too.
Oh, Alexander Skarsgård, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
haven't seen most of what he's been in. Like I just don't watch them
but
either,
their
seriously.
father, he was in the first Thor movie. Actually, he might have been in the second one too. He's like the scientist person that works with Natalie Portman and the other chick. There's that like older scientist man that works with them
And what?
in Thor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Look up Alan Richson for Oba. Hmm. Let's see. That's interesting.
Oh, Stellan Skarsgård, their father, he plays Baron Harkonnen in the new Dune.
Oh, okay, okay. That's gotcha. Okay,
That's
that
Alexander's and Bill's and Gustav's father.
got it. Wow. Huh. Alan Richson. Okay. Sure, maybe. He's kind of yeah. I don't know if I've seen him in anything, but maybe.
Alan Richson for Oba?
Therefore, Skarsgård.
He
What?
looks too old and thick.
He does look a little old, but thick is like kind of what you're
Well, I guess
going
I think
for.
I picture Oba like big, but not like toned, built, ripped.
I mean, he's doing all that work around the farm for his mom, so he might be.
He wouldn't be shredded.
I mean, nobody's shredded unless they're going to the gym to do it.
But
So,
since we briefly mentioned Dune, so that means we're now talking about Dune. Um,
yeah.
I had heard already, but the name didn't mean anything to me when I'd heard it, that
Hmm.
Austin Butler had been cast to play Feyd-Rautha. And now
Hmm.
I've seen the new Elvis movie, and now I know who Austin Butler is, and he's amazing, and I'm very excited to see him play Feyd-Rautha.
Cool. I have not
He could
seen the new
also,
Elvis
honestly,
movie.
Austin Butler could play Sebastian.
Ooh, yeah. Hmm.
So there you go. He's Sebastian. We did it.
He's like, he's very pretty.
Yeah. He also, like, if the longer you look at his face, he's got like weird proportions. Like his face is strange if you like think about it for longer than a second. Austin Butler. I mean, I don't.
Hmm.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sting will always be the best Feyd-Rautha, but I think Austin Butler could be really good. Honestly, he deserves an Oscar for playing Elvis. So good.
I've heard it's good. What I'm curious about is do they gloss over the fact that Elvis, like, was kind of terrible and preyed on young girls?
Hmm. They didn't gloss. I mean, it wasn't the story is told from the perspective of the manager that screwed him over. So it's not told from Elvis's perspective. So you
Hmm.
only really see the parts that the manager is seeing or commenting on or part of.
Hmm. Interesting. Oh, Harry Styles. I could see Harry Styles playing Fade
I think
Rotha.
Austin Butler will be better though. I like Harry Styles, but he doesn't. I don't know. I mean, he'd be fine. Like he'd be all right.
Okay.
I'm really excited to see Harry Styles' new movie. Was it Don't Worry, Darling? The one with Florence Pugh that was directed by Olivia Wilde.
Hmm.
It
I feel
looks
like half of
weird
our
and good.
conversations are you like talking about things you've seen and me being like, no, I
It
haven't seen
hasn't
that
come
thing.
out yet. You
I
also
know.
have we're in the same boat on this one. Now I will see it and you won't, but right now we're still in like a
Right now
Schrodinger's
we
movies.
right. Like will it be seen or not seen?
We have
Oh
equal
my gosh.
possibility.
Jeez. How was your what? Oh, we haven't done the proposal yet.
Yeah, that's in August.
The proposal is in August. It should be fun. Yeah, if anybody wants to join me or Leanna on Patreon, you can come hang out
Watch
with
me
us while I
suffer.
make Leanna. Well, we already did day after tomorrow. which is still up for patrons. Actually, it was fun, but yeah,
The Edge of
another
Tomorrow, not The Day After Tomorrow.
the day after.
That is also a big budget disaster movie.
Same thing, basically. No, but The Edge of
Except
Tomorrow
that The
was,
Edge of Tomorrow is good.
it was. It was a lot better than I was expecting. It was fun. Yes, another movie for it. Yeah, no, we're doing the proposal in August, so it should be fun.
See, everyone else knows what I'm talking about.
I just, I read books, you guys. I don't watch movies. I do occasionally, but not that much.
Well, I know that you've seen Interview with the Vampire. Are you excited for the new adaptation, the TV series?
I didn't know there was a new adaptation.
There is. And Louis is, I think it's the actor that played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones. I think he's playing Louis. I might be mistaken about that.
I also have not seen Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. It's usually such an easy one to be like,
know.
how do you know this actor? Oh, is in Game of Thrones. And 90% of people will be like, I know who you're talking about now.
I mean, some of the really big people I would know because I see promotions about them. But hey, Bree, welcome. Yeah,
I think it's spicy to hear us talk about.
Yeah. So, in fact, Interview with the Vampire, though, I only saw it pretty recently, like a couple years ago. There is a vlog where I watched.
I know. That's why I thought, now, you could be interested in a new thing coming out because you're vaguely aware.
I could be. I think I just feel overwhelmed by the number of things like Marvel.
See, I don't care about Marvel, so that's why I watch a bunch of stuff because I'm not watching Marvel stuff.
It's driving me nuts.
I have seen Thor.
They keep announcing so many things, and I'm like, I want to keep up with everything, but you're doing too much. And it's like a full-time job just to keep up with Marvel.
Star Wars and Marvel is way oversaturated.
Yeah, no, same. Actually, I don't know if you can call it this, but I DNF'd The Mandalorian because it was boring. I did not care.
The Mandalorian? That's the only good one.
It was so boring.
It's the only good Star Wars
I did not care because there's no recurring characters I cared about. He never talks. I was like, I just am not interested, so I didn't finish it.
It's okay that you're wrong, Bethany. The Mandalorian is a treasure.
Also, all the side actors, not like the ones with a few lines but not a lot of lines, were terrible. It took me out of the story because I was like, this is not believable. They had a lot of people that they hired that were not good actors, and I was like, what? No.
Anyway, Bill Burr is amazing.
No, I mean some of the actors were good.
Timothy Olyphant.
But there was such a dramatic difference between the people that they brought on who were really well paid and the people that weren't, and I don't know, it was not immersive and I didn't like it, so I didn't finish it.
It's the hottest take on the internet. That's a Mandalorian. Literally never heard this take before.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you'd probably like Obi-Wan.
I kind of want to try it. Baby Yoda is adorable but doesn't talk, so I am a Leia fan. I want to try Obi-Wan actually and see how I get on with it. But yeah.
I will be sad but unsurprised when you tell me that Mandalorian sucked but you loved Obi-Wan, and I'll just be like, somehow we're still friends.
It's not interesting. Because okay. It's pretty. But I don't care. But okay, there would be one episode where I'm like, oh, there's this side character they've introduced that's a little interesting. Oh, and now she's never going to be in the show again. I'm like, it's
Adventure of the Week.
I don't really like Adventure of the Week though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's a whole book, and we're following the same groups of characters with interesting character interactions across.
But I mean, the style of The Mandalorian is more like the old Western TV shows, which were who's need to be rescued this week? What's the adventure this week? That's I don't really like that.
I don't like that either. So
in fact, the people started to complain about The Mandalorian when they decided to start trying to tie it in to the main plot of the Star Wars movies, and they're like, no, leave it alone, let it be its own thing over there. Adventure of the Week, stop it.
Yeah, Priscilla, I thank you. I'm glad to see. I don't like Adventure of the Week. even TV shows I really love, I'm like, I just have to like suffer through the season that's monster of the week, like Buffy or whatever, until we can
I
get to the
know why you don't like The Mandalorian.
why.
It's a road trip.
It is a road trip. It's so boring.
That's the reason you don't like it.
But it's a road trip with characters who don't talk and are not interesting, so it makes it even worse. Like I'm like, I no, I can't do this. Yeah. I want to just like be in a place and maybe occasionally take a side trip and be with characters that have interest. Like I watch most of the shows that I like watching, I like because the character interactions are interesting.
The Mandalorian is great.
I'm glad everybody else enjoys it so much, but yeah, that's my hot take. It's funny. My husband was like, "You can make a video talking about it." I was like, "No, Star Wars fans are going to come for me. I am not making a standalone video
In fairness,
talking about how I don't like the Mandalorian."
If you made a video talking about that you love the Mandalorian, Star Wars fans would find a reason to come for you.
You're right. Star Wars fans are terrible. Listen, you know what? It's in the middle of a discussion of like the seventh book in a series that a lot of people don't read, so I'm not too concerned. But you're not wrong.
It's okay. I'll just tweet about it. Be like,
I mean, I
just found out tonight. Shocking update. Hot take. Bethany.
It's all right.
Hates the Mandalorian.
I have all the hot takes this week, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I love Star Wars. I really like my other hot takes are that I like the new movies.
So, okay, that's it. You've crossed a line. We are no longer friends. Not only it's individually those things would not be friendship breaking, but liking the new movies and hating the Mandalorian simultaneously.
I like what I like.
You ask
I
too
like
much.
what I like. They're not perfect. I have critiques of them, but in general,
no, they are.
I liked them.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of like a Western, which also is not that interesting. Some Westerns, I don't like that kind of Western. I like some types of Westerns, but not that version. So, yeah, but Baby Yoda doesn't talk. There's not, I mean, I don't know. It's fine. I'm glad people love it so much. I'm just not interested.
Maybe don't watch Over the Garden Wall, because you'll be the one person that doesn't like it, and I just can't be here for that. Just don't watch it. It was boring. You know what? You can't watch Over the Garden Wall because the whole thing is a journey. The entire story is two brothers on a journey trying to get home. And you don't like road trips, so don't watch it.
I do not. I mean, if I love the characters in the world, well, okay, but like I love Lord of the Rings, which is a road trip.
Are you sure you love Lord of the Rings?
I do love
You just think you do?
No, I really love it. I love like Fellowship, the book, I love. And
are you going to tell me that the Hobbit movies are better?
No. Okay. Hobbit movies, this should have been one movie.
I'm just preparing for heinous opinions.
Not that bad. Oh my God. No, the Hobbit movies were terrible.
Do you think that the Rings of Power looks good?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. I'm so excited. Are you kidding? It looks amazing. And we're getting like people of color in Middle Earth. I'm so excited.
That's fine. Like the fact of that. But the show itself looks like a higher budget Wheel of Time.
No, it looks so good. I'm very excited for it. We'll see. Maybe I'll be disappointed, but I'm hopeful. I'm very excited to get more Middle Earth. We'll see. Thank you, Simone. I like the new movies too. I mean, they're not perfect. I have criticisms, but like overall, I enjoyed them. Lord of the Rings is a true road trip, but you know what? I love the characters and the writing is beautiful and I love Lord of the Rings, but it's the characters carry it for me, you know? Anyway, I am so excited for Rings of Power as well. Thank you. It's going to be great, Leanna.
I'm dreading it.
You just hate everything.
I will watch it. I'll watch it the same way I watch Wheel of Time, with my brother roasting it the entire time.
Yeah, I haven't watched Wheel of Time yet because I want to wait a while now because so many people were negative about it. So I'm like, eventually I'll get around to it, maybe.
It's terrible.
I also feel like you are a lot more critical of things.
But I like The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but The Mandalorian is the kind of thing that like critical people would like. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Because it's like trying to be artsy with like the way it's shot, and like it's like the kind of thing where like you just don't get it if you don't like it, because it's like, yeah, he
I mean,
doesn't
it's a very
talk, but
straight.
like
The thing
I
that's
don't
good
know.
about The Mandalorian is it's a very straightforward story. It's not trying to be like 10 different multi-connected, you have to have seen 50 things to get it. It's like all the MacGuffins and side when it starts doing that is when it starts to be crap. Like it's a very simple, straightforward. Here's like some people who are not part of the main story of Star Wars, just having like there's other people that exist in the it's kind of like the pillars of creation of Star Wars. It's like, you know what? There's other people in this universe besides the fucking Skywalkers that have lives that are like getting up to shit. So like let's follow
Yeah.
one of them and like see what they get up to
I mean,
week to week.
which is great, but I want more than one episode following them. It's like, great, let's spend a
It's
season.
following the
Yeah,
Mandalorian.
but I find The Mandalorian uninteresting. So like I would rather like those people, the
Poor
fishing
Pedro
people,
Pascal.
you know, the fishing people where there was the mom, like they were cool. I was like, can we stay here for a few episodes? Like
No, they
this isn't.
saved the day. Time to move on.
Yeah, and then I lost it. That I liked that episode, and then it did other things, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not
Yes,
interested.
Urza Rings of Fire will be a dumpster fire. It'll be one of the times that you and I actually agree.
So funny. Simone is excited for it and liked Wheel of Time, so maybe I will. I don't know. Sometimes I end up loving things that people critically don't like. So
Like, what's that Vin Diesel movie that you like?
The Chronicles of Riddick. I love the
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick. It's
in fairness, I haven't
great.
seen it, but I
You
can't
haven't. You have
imagine
not.
that I
I
would
mean,
like it.
granted, like the special effects have not held up well, but it's great. It's so much fun. It was my favorite movie for a long time. It's
Don't
campy,
like
but
The
it's great.
Mandalorian.
I do not. It's not interesting. But I'm glad other people like it. It's great. Yes, thank you, Jessica. Riddick is awesome. I mean, like you have like Vin Diesel being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill you with my teacup."
I mean, I'll be honest. It's not the special effects or any of that that made me not want to see it. It was Vin Diesel that made. I was
Oh,
like, no, I have
he's
no interest in this.
he's hilarious. It's like deadpan funny. Like I don't know. I find him so entertaining in that movie. I think it's great.
I haven't seen it. Maybe I would love it.
See, like I did not like Pitch Black as much as the Chronicles of Riddick. Because it's a different type of movie. It's like a survival story, which also is not my favorite type of sci-fi. I liked the broader expanded universe that we get in Chronicles of Riddick. See, thank you, Bree. Bree loves Finn. Finn is great. He's funny. He's got this like
I just like
deadpan dry sense of humor. It's great.
he just is Vin Diesel at all times. Like, you know, actors are in stuff, but I mean, like when Chris Hemsworth is in Thor, he is Thor. When Chris Hemsworth is in Snow White and the Huntsman, he's the Huntsman. But when I see Vin Diesel,
is he
it's
though?
Vin
Are
Diesel.
those not actually the same character, basically?
I mean, those specifically were, but I mean, like he's like, or when he's the dumb assistant in the Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's variation. You just haven't
Point
watched
being.
enough. You just haven't watched enough Vin Diesel to see the nuances of Vin Diesel performances.
I mean, I feel pretty much the same way about Bruce Willis. Like if Bruce Willis is or The Rock,
Yeah.
The Rock, Bruce Willis, Vin Diesel, they just are themselves in a different location with different costumes.
I mean, I can see it. I think it's Jessica. No. Well, I mean, if you like survival stories, it's better. But I found all of the more epic political sci-fi stuff happening in Chronicles of Riddick so interesting. I always kind of wanted to go back and read the books because I know they're based on books, but I don't know if the books are any good. Interesting. I cannot read a lot of domestic thrillers. Well, we have gotten entirely off topic, but it has been fun. And hey, if I was gonna, like vent my feelings on the Mandalorian on the internet, this
might
was
be the only safe place.
Might be the only safe place to do it. It's like, watch, somebody's gonna find me and be like, ah.
I got you. I think was it Baby Yoda scrunchies?
No, they're cute. I mean, listen,
If I
like,
had known these heinous opinions about the Mandalorian.
also, you did not get me Baby Yoda scrunchies. You got me Lord of the Rings
Oh, I
scrunchies.
think I was deciding between Baby Yoda
Well, you
scrunchies and Lord of the
clearly
Rings weapon.
chose well.
Whew.
I mean, I would have still been I still think Baby Yoda is adorable. I mean, it's clearly like a marketing gimmick because it's cute, you know? But uh I
I'll,
just, you know.
be right back.
Rosamund Pike carries the Wheel of Time. Okay. I haven't read a lot of the books. I never got very far. Oh, cute. Very cute.
My brother gave them to me for, I think, my birthday a couple years ago.
Oh, nice. That's adorable. I mean, it's like, it was a good move for making merch. You know what I mean? It's like Disney knew what they were
Yeah.
doing. Like,
And I mean, having like this gruff, like warrior silent type be the dad to this like adorable little gurgling alien baby
okay,
is
but
like a
listen,
precious combination.
he was a he did, at least with things, he did, it was terrible. He just like left him place. I think part of it is
He
being a
doesn't know what he's
parent.
doing.
God. You know what? I think this was part of the thing is like being a parent of small children. I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? This child, like, it stressed me out. I didn't
But
like
also,
that
this
either.
child is 50 years old and can use the Force.
I know,
So
but you know, I don't know.
Kaz is very interested in the Baby
Rosamund
Yoda
was too
situation.
tall. What? What a thing to be annoyed about.
Did you ever watch The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
Yes.
One of
Something
my
I've
favorite
seen. It
lines,
was funny.
I think, if not my favorite line, one of my favorite lines in that whole show was they're talking about like Kate Blanchett is such a good actress, and they're like, is she, or is she just tall? I laughed about that for days.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. He was safe in that floating crib. Yeah, but he would just like leave him in the spaceship and go like fight a
To me, when
monster.
he would
Or
do
like
that,
leave
I
him with
was
a mechanic who he doesn't know. I'm like, I'm glad
when he
he's
would
safe,
walk
but how
off,
do you know?
when he would walk off and leave him, or he'd let Baby Yoda just like walk around next to him on his own. Like I wasn't worried about Baby Yoda's safety. Like I was like, he's fine. Like he's using he whatever. But I was, because he's valuable and everyone wants him. And I was like, so they could easily grab him right now. Like I'm
Yes,
not
that
worried. Like
too.
he'll be fine because he's too valuable to hurt. But I mean, like not like a parent safety thing,
Yeah.
just like a valuable asset thing. Where I'm like, what are you doing? Like he's walking away. Someone could just like grab him. Like what are you doing?
Yeah. No, I mean it's also felt, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, that whole thing like stressed me out too. So I just, there were a lot of marks against me not liking it very much. But
It's
it's
okay,
okay.
child.
I'll try some other things. Sorry. He's very cute. Um oh man. Man, also tomorrow is gonna be interesting because we get to
Morning
talk
glory,
about
milking
morning
farm.
glory milking.
I have nothing further to say about it.
I haven't watched your vlog because I didn't want to watch it until I had actually like read it and stuff, and we've discussed it. But it'll be interesting. It was an
It was
experience.
interesting.
It
Yep,
was.
it
I have a lot of
was.
thoughts. I
My
think I liked it less than Mara, but better than you and Amanda. And I have a
my
lot of
problems
thoughts.
with it were not the problems that I expected to have.
I wonder if you have some of the same problems I do. I'm curious. I
I
don't, because
doubt
I
it.
haven't watched your things. So I don't know.
I have problems with the business model. Told you.
Okay, that's hilarious actually. Okay, it's gonna be, that was not the problem I had. Okay, good deal. It's gonna be
Told you.
interesting. We're
When you
not
said
wrong.
maybe we have the same problems as me, I was like, I seriously doubt that.
No, nope,
Possible, but
that's hilarious. Yeah, I'll have to watch the vlog at some point. I was like, I'm gonna wait until after we've like done all this stuff. But yeah, that should be interesting.
there was a whole debate going on in my comments about evolutionary genetics because of my problems with the book.
Excellent. Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was It's interesting. I think it'll be an interesting conversation. So
it'll be, if we're going to try to keep it, NSFW, that'll be what's interesting, is us doing verbal gymnastics to try to explain things without saying things.
I think it'll be fine. We'll work around it. Oh man. Yeah. I have my own problems with it, but
not business model related.
Not business model related. No. That I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna accept that's like how things are in this world, whatever. Like,
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't have to. I don't really care. Like, I don't care if that makes sense.
I cared a great deal.
Sounds like it.
I was pretty upset.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that'll be fun. And then I also have my other hot take video tomorrow. It should be fun.
Do I know about this?
I don't know if you've been. I posted the thumbnail on my Instagram stories, but you may not have seen it.
When did you post it?
Like right after I posted the thumbnail for this.
Oh, then I didn't see it.
Yeah. So I was inspired by Jess Owens, who did this video of like recommending books to her enemies, and I thought I should do that, but with public figures. So that's what I'm doing. It's like, a rare, it's like a rare opportunity to see me be very snarky. So it should be fun.
Well, that's quite an assortment of faces.
It is. But you know what? I think I picked really good books for all of them.
I'm interested to know how you narrowed down your enemies when you have such a large pool to choose from.
I just picked some of the worst offenders, Yes, Jessica, thank you for encouraging me to actually make this video, because I was like, is this too much? I don't know, but it was very cathartic actually to film. It was fun. Yes. So
what it makes me think of though, like the title, I mean both titles for yours and Jessica's videos, is that quote, or not quote, the tweet that it was a Trump tweet, but Mark Hamill read it in Joker voice. Because it was like, Merry Christmas to everyone and my many enemies, blah, blah, blah. It was something like that. And like, this is like a fucking weird tweet. And so it was perfect for Mark Hamill to read it in Joker voice. I was like, can he read every tweet in Joker voice? Like, can we get a Kickstarter? Like,
oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, yeah, so it'll be fun. I'll put that up sometime tomorrow morning. I put it up early for my patrons because I was like, I think this is funny, so I'm gonna share it. Hopefully not too many people get mad at me, so.
They will. But as long as you don't tell anyone that you hate The Mandalorian,
then I'll be fine. Otherwise, it's game over.
Otherwise, I can't tell you. I warned you, I can't help you.
Yeah, I love how like my husband was like, you should just make a video talking, because I told him all the things about it, and he was like, you should just make a video, and I was like, no, I was like, I am not.
Click on it.
Yeah, they would. I don't think I'm prepared.
Make the thumbnail you like stabbing Baby Yoda.
Oh my god, I would be like, I was like, I am not prepared to deal with that level of backlash from part of the internet. No, thank you. Oh man, yeah, that's so funny. Like, come on, just let people like and not like what they. But who cares? But
I don't think you understand what the internet is for. It's for screaming your opinions at everyone else, especially at the people who disagree with those opinions.
Yeah. It would be like
we ride at dawn.
Oh my god. It would be like your way of King's review, basically.
It would be worse because the Star Wars fandom is much, much bigger.
It's true. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations, everybody here. You now know I have very unpopular opinions about The Mandalorian. Title it, is Baby Yoda not that cute? Listen, Baby Yoda is cute, but it's not enough to carry a show.
The title / thumbnail should be Pedro Pascal sucks.
I like him. Like, I've seen
Save
him.
the
He's
child.
Screaming louder means I'm right.
I mean, those are tried and true rules.
Gosh. It's like we can just like different things. It's okay.
It's just so funny because, like, The Mandalorian is one of the few things that obviously, like, there's nothing that Star Wars fans all agree on because that's just impossible.
No.
But The Mandalorian is pretty much like the closest to a thing that Star Wars fans agree on, that, like, The Mandalorian is good. Some people love it, some people think it's fine, but most Star Wars fans agree that, like, that's a good one.
I mean,
it's like how Empire Strikes Back, like, that's a good one.
Like, I can see why people would like it. It just does a lot of things that I don't find interesting.
Leave it to you. Just like the one that everyone is, like, fine with.
Yeah, that's so funny. I had not fully expected to like it, which is why I was like, then we
There's
watched
like so many,
and then we like watched the first episode, and I was like, huh, that was not interesting. And my husband's like, well, it gets better. I'm like, okay. I mean, I think I watched half of the first season, and I was like, oh, it gets better. Okay. And the second episode, I was like, not yet.
It's pretty chill. There was like so many memes of like Pedro Pascal needing back surgery from all the injuries he sustained from supporting the entire weight of the Star Wars franchise.
Oh my gosh. I mean, he's funny. Yeah, it's like all the things I don't like. It's the same thing in like shows and books, right? It's a road trip. It's like episodic. It's not like carrying a lot of character relationships from thing to thing. It's very heavy on the action and less on like the like political relational stuff. It's like all the stuff that I'm like, it's not interesting. If it was a book that had those characteristics, I would also be like, this is boring. I am DNFing it. So.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'm honestly kind of terrified of you watching Over the Garden Wall. We're going to be here again.
We could do it for a podcast episode.
I mean, if you watch it, I would be very much down to discuss it with you. Hopefully to gush about it with you.
Hopefully.
But I will defend the honor of Over the Garden Wall on behalf of humanity against potential future slander.
Yeah. I mean, it's also different, right? Because it's like a cartoon, which is we'll see. I don't know.
It's its own. I promise you, you've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
At the very least.
Okay. Well, maybe we could discuss.
And the main character is voiced by Elijah Wood.
I like him. Frodo.
And there's some other voices in it too. What's the crazy dude from Back to the Future?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah. See, I like complex.
But don't go in. I mean, okay, more complex, yes, but like, don't go in expecting anything like uber complex.
I mean, it's a cartoon. I don't know that I would expect anything.
Just because something's animated doesn't mean it's not complex.
I mean, if it's not anime, like usually.
I was about to say, like, I'm sorry, are you now courting the disfavor of the anime community?
No.
They didn't kill you over the Mandalorian.
Yeah, no. Anime 100% can be very complex, but like most other kinds of cartoons are not. You know what I mean? Like.
But the assumption that something's not complicated because it's animated is not, necessarily.
No, not necessarily. It's just often accurate.
I mean, Over the Garden Wall isn't. I mean, kids could watch it. It'd be pretty scary for kids, but like, It's not.
I was wondering because I have.
It's not very kiddie, I guess I would say.
Okay.
And like older kids could watch it, but it's pretty creepy and unnerving.
Got it.
Yeah, that guy.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds
very
appealing. So,
it's quite unique.
okay.
And
Oh.
it's got a lot of nonsense in it.
Okay.
Particularly the little brother.
Okay.
Ain't that just the way? He has a pet rock. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Cool. When did this actually come out?
It's been some years.
I'm curious. Oh, it's like 2014. No wonder I had never heard of it. It's like when I had my first kid, I was not watching anything.
You've had time to catch up.
No, but like I don't know. I mean, 2014 is when I was like finishing grad school and having a baby, so I was not doing anything else. Uh, yeah.
Well, no time like the present.
Indeed. Well,
On that note.
on that note, um, come back tomorrow if you want to hear more controversial
But not
takes.
here.
But
To
no, but here for
for your video.
my video, and then on Mara's channel for discussions of milking farm book. Things should be.
Of business models.
And then we'll be back on Leanna's channel next month to talk about the next book.
The Naked Empire.
The Naked Empire. Thank you.
With no nudity.
No nudity. Just the Empire. Yeah. So that is the plan. Thank you, everybody. It has been fun hanging out. Have a great night. And we'll see you later.